Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to give about another minute or two to ensure anyone else who will be joining us have the opportunity before we get into today's webinar. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Achieving the Dreams 2018 College Annual Reporting and Reflection Webinar. I am Nikisha Boyer, Associate Director of Network Engagement, and I'm joined with the Director of Network Engagement, Benita Brown, and our colleague, Elaine Reese, Director of Research here at ATD. A few housekeeping notes. All of our guest mics are muted during the presentation. There is no need to use your video function. And at the time we've completed the webinar, you may type in your questions via the chat icon that's located at the bottom of your screen. So with that, let's get started. We would like to thank you all for your continued engagement with Achieving the Dream. We trust that you are having a productive year and that your college is making great strides in providing necessary supports and services for your students. Our agenda today will cover this year's annual reporting and reflection purpose and changes. We'll discuss how to access reporting material, what material is required and how to submit them. We will also provide a Leader College application and intervention showcase update, as well as have time to answer your questions. So to get us started, here's Benita.
Thank you, Nikisha. So what is the purpose of the annual reflection process? Over the course of the past year, we hope that you have been working closely with your coaches, with your core teams, and with your entire campus to advance your student success goals. We hope that you have participated in webinars, that you've attended our annual Dream Conference, that you attended other learning sessions, and that you've talked to peer institutions to gather ideas as you further refine your student success goals. The annual reflection process is meant to provide time for campuses to stop, reflect back over the year, and honestly assess what progress has been made. Or if you have not reached your goals, to reflect on the challenges and the barriers to that progress, and to think about and plan how you want to move forward in the upcoming year. Over the past couple of years, we've received feedback on the annual reflections process. Everything from the materials were too long, was too complicated, was not applicable, and we listened to that feedback. We actually conducted our own annual reflection process and worked to streamline this whole process for you. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that it was a meaningful exercise as possible. Today, we will review the process for this year and highlight the areas of change. So as I mentioned, ATD's annual reporting and reflection process is a great time to assess your institution's student success work over the past year and to plan for the coming year. This year, we made 3 notable changes to the process. The first change is that we decoupled the annual reflection report from the Leader College application process and the recertification process, and also the intervention showcase. Last year, we had all of that combined into one document, And so we are working to revise things. And so we separated those processes out. You'll learn more about each of those toward the end of this presentation. Secondly, we streamlined the annual reflection report to include fewer questions in hope of lessening the burden, but also to ask more directive questions to have you think about more specific items over the course of your year. And third, and this is where we really hope you see that value in this process, is that we will review all of the annual reflections from across the network. And in the fall, we plan to present a single communication to the network highlighting key themes and trends that have emerged from all across the country. And we also hope to highlight innovative strategies and ideas that have emerged as a course of this annual reflections process. That way, you can see what's going on nationally and also learn where you might be able to go for additional resources for certain strategies and ideas. It is our hope that the information and the annual reflections will also guide ATD as we plan for our annual DREAM conference coming up in February of next year, and as we develop new service offerings to meet the needs of the network. So this year's annual reflections process consists of 3 elements: the coach satisfaction survey. We are asking colleges to upload a current institutional plan or your plan from an initiative that you're already part of, and we have the actual annual reflection report itself. And with that, I'll return it back over to Nikisha to walk you through the process.
Thank you, Benita. So this year's annual reporting and reflection information can be found via our ATD's website at www.achievingthedream.org. Once you get into the website, you will click on the resource header where you would select the Knowledge Center tab. And once you get to the Knowledge Center page, that's where you will find the College 2018 Annual Reporting and Reflection link. You click on that link to access the reporting instructions and reflection worksheet. The attachment that's under the resource files provides you detailed instructions, a list of submission elements, and the reflection worksheet. This worksheet is available for your institutions to develop and draft your college annuals reflection. Once finalized, your responses can be then copied and pasted to the online form via your institution's individualized link. This year's annual reporting and reflection process consists of 3 elements, as Benita mentioned: the coaches satisfaction survey, the college strategic plan and report, as well as the annual reflection report. All institutions should have received your individualized link to access the annual reporting and reflection survey by now. The link was sent to college presidents, core team leads, data team leads, as well as leader coach liaisons. If your institution has not received your individualized link, please send a message to network@achievingthedream.org, and we'll be able to assist you from there. This link provides another means to access the coach satisfaction survey, for you to upload a copy of your institution's strategic plan, and paste or write up your responses to the annual reflection report. Now let's walk through this year's annual reporting elements. We'll start with Elaine, ATD's Director of Research, for an overview of this year's coach satisfaction survey.
Thanks, Nikisha. This coaching survey happens every year as part of the annual reporting process. Our annual network survey showed that about 90% of our schools are satisfied with coaching, but the survey digs deeper into more fine-pointed issues. Each college only has one set of coaches, so we ask each college to collaborate internally and submit a single set of responses. On the 2018 Annual Reporting and Reflection website, we've included a PDF of the survey so that you can view the questions ahead of time. It should be called something like 2017-18 Coach Satisfaction. If there's anything you wish to share that you would rather have kept confidential, please don't hesitate to send an email to Lori Haycock at the email address provided here. Before we move on, some of the areas of the survey I'd like to highlight. There's some questions addressing coaching changes. We understand that as colleges move through their student success agendas, they feel like their coaching needs have changed. Depending on how long you've been in the network, there are slightly different versions of the questions addressing the desire for a change in coaching. If you're within your first 3 years of ATD, your options are either to keep your coach or request a new one, and you can select that for both your leadership coach and your data coach. However, if you're about to enter your 4th year or beyond in ATD, you have a few options based upon our new service model for the upcoming year. These options have varying degrees of intensity of coaching involvement. For example, a single virtual coaching visit with one coach with one site visit, 2 coaches with 1 site visit, just to name a few. If you do have any questions on coaching or the new service model, there's a section at the end of the survey that you can signify you'd like to schedule a call, and then it asks for you to provide some options for dates and times most convenient for you. Once we receive that feedback, somebody from our team will follow up with you to confirm a 30-minute call time. We truly appreciate your feedback. It's extremely valuable to informing our decision-making process. And with that, let's hear from Benita, who will share more information about strategic plan submission.
Thank you, Elaine. So this year, ATD is asking network colleges to submit a copy of your current institutional strategic plan. This is new for this year's process, and what we will be looking for is how the student success work is positioned in your strategic plans. Don't panic, don't worry. If you're in the middle of revising your plan, we understand that. If student success is not specifically mentioned in your plan, that's okay too. We still just want you to submit your most current version of your strategic plan. This will help us understand the overall goals for your college. For those ATD institutions that are participants in the Aspen Frontier Set or the AACC Pathways 1.2 or 2.0, you may choose to submit either the most recent Frontier Report, the most recent Pathways Plan, or your current strategic college plan. Again, we just want you to see how you are defining your overall goals so that we can see how you are planning and working and positioning your student success work.
Thanks, Benita. Next, we will move into the reflection. The annual reflection report, this is the 3rd element of this year's reporting. It's designed to facilitate engagement of a representative group of stakeholders to review and discuss your institution's student success and equity work, including progress made, current priorities, challenges faced, and goals for the coming academic year. The worksheet has been provided to draft your coordinated responses prior to filling out and submitting your responses via your individualized survey link. As in years past, we would like a list of key college representatives who are contributing to the annual reflection. Please provide names and titles of each stakeholder who's contributing to this year's annual reflection in the contributor section. ICAT utilization. In the past, colleges provided specific information related to the progress and challenges of each ICAT area. As all ATD institutions should have taken the ICAT, for this annual reflection, ATD would like to know how your college used the ICAT findings and what have been the results. In the student success vision section, we are asking that you outline your institution's ideal of how students will experience your college, including overarching achievable goals to help you move towards your student success vision. We are also providing an opportunity to discuss how ATD can assist your institution with reaching your student success goals. You will provide a contact person for ATD to follow up with if you choose to discuss further how we can assist you with achieving those goals. All 2018 annual reporting and reflection material, along with the coaches' satisfaction survey and the submission of your college strategic plan, and as Benita mentioned, either you have the option of submitting your Frontier report, or if you're Pathways 1.0 or 2.0 plan can be submitted in lieu of the annual reflection, in addition to the annual reflection. Those elements are all due on June 1st. Once we have received and reviewed all of your reflection submissions, ATD will distill key themes, lessons, and trends. Instead of generating a college-specific letter for each college, as we've done in the past, ATD will conduct a thematic analysis and share a general communication to the colleges in August, based on the network key themes identified. So the annual reporting and reflection process in the past, as you are aware of at this point, has been coupled with the Leader College application and recertification and submissions to the interventions showcase. It's been a heavy lift for colleges across our network, we understand. With this acknowledgement, ATD also recognizes the value and importance of each of these elements. Therefore, we have chosen to separate these processes into their own separate entities for this year. We know that some of you are looking forward to the opportunity to apply for Leader College status and seek recertification, and we're excited about your enthusiasm. ATD is in the initial stages of assessing the current Leader College selection and recertification process to develop a more valuable and streamlined process. In addition, we are working to bolster the role of Leader Colleges that will be even more beneficial to the entire ATD network. Your continued patience is appreciated as we look to improve upon this value-added component of the ATD experience. We are working diligently to launch the Leader College selection and recertification information and instructions this summer in July. As far as the interventions showcase, it too is an important aspect of participation in the ATD network and is also valued as a resource for colleges both inside and outside our network. We've learned that ATD colleges find the intervention showcase a very useful component of ATD services. And in order to ensure we have a quality means of gathering and displaying this resource for colleges, ATD is looking to revamp the intervention showcase process and possibly launching it this fall. So now it's time for us to extend an opportunity for you guys to ask any questions. Remember to use the chat icon at the bottom of your screen to submit your questions. So we'll allow for a minute or two to see if any comes through and begin to address them from there. I believe we saw someone raise their hand. At the bottom of, if you just hover your cursor over the screen, there should be a bottom menu bar that comes up, and right in the middle is a chat icon. If you click on that, your chat window should appear, and you should be able to type your message below. Okay, so we'll take them as they're coming in. Just one moment.
Read the first.
All right, so the first question, our leader coach has retired. How does that impact our coach satisfaction? Elaine?
So I'm thinking this through how, yeah, I mean, if your coach is retired, I would still fill it out. I mean, obviously, like, we still want to know just to kind of close things out. We know that you're going to be getting a new coach. Yeah, I mean, definitely explain, what your experience was, because these are still things that we'd like to know. So yeah, I would go ahead and still fill it out. We know you're going to get a new coach. That's a given.
And maybe include what you're looking for in the next coach. That could be helpful as well.
And I would just add that you would want to include the experience you liked and things that didn't work well. What worked well, what didn't work well. It's all still useful information for us to share with coaches going forward.
Great, thank you. That was Terry Ann Sosa. Thank you, Terry Ann. All right, so the next question. Do the Project Success colleges need to do the reflection and the plan that is required mid-May? No, those colleges participating in Project Success should only submit their plan that's due in mid-May. You are not required to do the reflection. Thank you. And our next question. Our core team had our last meeting for the year just a week before this came out. We will make do, but sure could use this reporting information earlier in the year. Thank you for that feedback. Next question. Will the Leader College data matrix remain the same?
We imagine that they will be very similar. We don't envision changing that drastically. But with that said, we might be targeting certain metrics. We are not quite sure yet. That's kind of the self-reflection that we're doing ourselves, is looking at those metrics and what we should be measuring versus what colleges are already measuring. So that's a good question. Just stay tuned, and we will let you know as quickly as we can.
So another sentiment has come in about receiving the reporting documents earlier in the year, like we used to. I know for this year, we're probably a week, if anything, a little bit sooner than what was submitted last year, but this is definitely noted with the changes that we're looking to make. We will look to make sure that we get this out sooner to you based on the feedback that we're receiving and some of the changes we're looking to make with this request. So thank you for that.
And actually, this is Benita. I have a question. What time frame would work better for you? You said earlier, it's April, May right now. When you mean earlier, is that January, February, or is that March, April? What will earlier look like for you all? That would help us if you could let us know that.
Great, thank you. And you could, again.
April, okay. April 1, perfect, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next follow-up question. Do all colleges need to submit a data template or just Leader College recertifiers?
Well, as we mentioned, we're decoupling Leader College from annual reflection. So in terms of any sort of data template for Leader College, stay tuned, because chances are there's going to be some edits of some sort to that template. So just what is entirely in the actual application, like the self-reflection, things like that, not that whole Leader College template.
And so for annual reflections, data is not required, but if you would like to submit some data to show your progress that you're making, we definitely would like to review that, but at the moment there is no data template for the annual reflections part of the process.
Okay, great, thank you. Next question. Our coaches work directly with our 7 campuses. Would you prefer a satisfaction survey from each campus or cumulative response from the system?
In terms of having 7 separate, let me think. I think I know which system we're. Yeah, hold on a moment. We'll process that.
Yeah, let us come back to that one while we gather an answer. And Keisha, let's move to the next one. 2 down.
Okay.
So March or April is when they want to receive the information. Okay.
Okay, March or April. Thank you, Stacy, and thank you, John, for defining what's a better time frame to receive the annual reflection.
Yeah, that's good intel.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Terry Ann again. To answer the question about coaches working directly with our 7 campuses, would you prefer a satisfaction survey from each campus or cumulative response? I mean, ideally, each campus would be better because I'm sure each campus has experienced things differently. And we want to know, again, what works best, what best practices you enjoyed the most, which ones weren't as effective. Again, I think each campus would have had a different experience. If the system office is involved in some way, I would think that they should give their impression as well.
Thank you, Terry Ann. Okay, Jennifer Anderson. We're in the same situation. Semester is about to end, so we won't be able to include faculty. March would be good. Thank you, Jennifer. And the next question following, February works nice. In April, faculty are wrapping up the semester, and in May, they get a break before summer classes. This is all good feedback. Thank you, guys. From PCCC, we would also appreciate not having deadlines aligned with new semester startup. Okay, and generally is that June 1st?
May.
Or
May.
Essentially May.
Mid-May?
Yeah, mid-May.
All right. So, okay. So we'll keep that in mind, so noted. And then from John, we did not receive feedback on our report last year. Was that planned or accidental? John, can you key in, or you could shoot an email to network at achievingthedream.org and submit which college you're from, and we'll look into that for you. Okay, Cindy, if you could do the same, network at achievingthedream.org, and let us know which college you're representing, and we'll look into last year's feedback letter to see what happened. Any other questions? All right, seeing that there are no other, or 1 second, Bonnie got it in at the nick of time. Could you describe where to access the documents again? And then, okay, yes, absolutely. So this year, we've hosted the instructions and the material on our ATD website. So when you log into ATD, you'll click on the resource tab. We're gonna, give me 1 second, we'll have Ashley, who's been
Right there.
advancing our slides for us. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, so once you log into Achieving, or not logging in, once you access our website, at the top tab, or at the top row, there's a tab that says Resources. You'll click on that. Then below there, there's a bar. The first tab or area is the Knowledge Center. And within the Knowledge Center, there's a list of links. And the first link that should be in there, and if depending on if we added anything else, just look for College 2018 Annual Reporting and Reflection. Once you click on that, you will then be drawn to the attachment that has all the information that we covered today, if not more details, on what you need and how to submit it through this documentation here. And it also accompanies the reflections worksheet for you guys to work collaboratively in for your responses.
And we will share the slide presentation, so you'll have this information in your hands afterwards.
All right, so hopefully that helped, Bonnie. Let me know if you need more guidance to that. Okay, thank you for that. I'll look into it. And then 300 to 700 words per question. Benita, you want to address that?
Yes, that is the word frame that we'd like you all to stay in. We know some colleges are very verbose and want to share a lot, and we appreciate that. But again, if you could keep it within that time frame for all questions, that would be much appreciated.
And definitely we want you to get at the 300 because we know that you guys are doing a lot of work.
Right.
So we just want to be sure that we capture all that you're doing. But with that maximum, because of just how our reporting structure is set up, that's kind of our ideal amount of text we want to try to collect from you per each question. So hopefully that helps. If you have any further questions, shoot us an email and we'll be able to connect with you directly. Thank you. All right, any other questions? Going once. All right. So we want to thank everyone for joining us and participating, for your patience, your attention, and the work that you will be doing on this year's annual reporting and reflection process. We also thank you for the feedback. So really kind of, owning us to get this out sooner when your staff and faculty are available to really contribute to the information that we're seeking from you earlier in the year is best as far as the calendar year, so that it's not conflicting with, starts of new semesters and just a better timing. We heard you loud and clear, and thank you for providing some suggestions. And we'll take that back to our workstations as we're looking to revise other areas and processes to make it work best for you. So this webinar has been recorded and will be posted on the ATD website shortly following the conclusion of this presentation. So if it's not posted by Friday, shoot me an email via the network at achievingthedream.org email address, and to send us any further questions that you may have before, during, or as you're submitting your information. We'll be happy to respond back to you. So with that, we bid you guys a farewell and have a great rest of your day, and we'll be in contact with you soon. Take care.